Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, first of all, I want to give a huge thank you for the person that let me know that GH was on yesterday. Because I had no idea. I had no idea. And if it wasn't for this person, I wouldn't even have known about GH being on. I can't pronounce your name, and I don't want to butcher it, but if you know who you are, thank you. Now, with that being said, before I get into the episode, I am really annoyed at ABC because it came on, and of course it wasn't on because of the baseball game, which, by the way, I have no idea why I decided to put it on baseball games at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the majority of people are actually at work. I don't really understand. Like, I can see it being on Saturday and Sunday or whatever, people are home, but so yeah, I think it's actually pretty stupid. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot didn't happen in this episode. Hell, I actually barely took any notes because so little actually happened in this episode. So in a lot of ways, I felt like even if I missed this episode, it really wouldn't have mattered. At all. Nothing really actually happened. Let's talk about the kids, or the teenagers, or the Disney, whatever. I feel like I'm watching the Disney Channel. Anyway, so the four of them go to homecoming. Trina, Jocelyn, Dev, and Cam. Trina starts to get overwhelmed with emotions because, you know, what happened with her dad. So she bolts out for a little bit. Dev tries to make a move on Jocelyn, and Jocelyn just shuts that down because I don't even know why. She knew it was gonna happen, and she just kind of shut it down. It was like, I'm gonna go talk to some friends over there, and that was it. And then her and Cam was about to kiss. That was it. They also took some pictures, a montage or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of looked at my phone at that point. Let's see what else happened. You had Liz and Portia talking about the hospital and how Portia tried to bat for them. Liz and Epiphany, but it didn't really matter. And then he talked about the kids and, you know, how scared they were about letting them out their sights, and, you know, Liz is pretty much just like, we gotta start somewhere. Let's talk about Cyrus, because Cyrus is a character, I gotta sit there and say. You know, in the beginning, he was talking to Brando. He was like, hey, listen, just want to let you know I apologize for my men roughing you up, but I bought you something that's really expensive to make up for it. I don't remember what it was, but pretty much he was like, listen, I want you to be on my team. I think you could flourish, I think you could do really great. Don't say anything now, just think about it, and we'll talk soon. So at this point, you know, it's pretty obvious that lost my train of thought. It's pretty obvious that Cyrus wants to recruit Brando into his gang. And the fact that Brando didn't automatically say no was a little concerning. I hope he actually does the right thing, and it's just like, I'm good, but I guess time will tell, and I guess depends on which writer decides to write whatever story that's going to be going forward. So anyway, Cyrus is in the bar, and then you had Jason and Sam came in there. And Cyrus has a way of pushing people's buttons. Now, before I get to that, we'll talk about Julian and Sam, because I gotta be honest with you. Listen, here's the thing. I'm not just saying that Julian is like Father of the Year, but after a certain point, it must get really exhausting to talk to Sam. Even if she is your child. Because she comes in there and she's all berating him, and she's all like, well, I'm getting right to the point. What are you doing with Cyrus? Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, one, who's the parent? Two, do you have the gall to sit there and try to berate him about what he's doing and tell him how wrong he is? I mean, I get that she was trying to do out of concern, but it just came across very, well, bitchy, to be honest. And I'm like, you're in his place, not the other way around. Anyway, I think Julian said something and then he just walked off. And I'm going to be kind of honest with you. I was like, wow, you know, it's really sad where Sam could be so obnoxious to the point where her own father just decides to end the conversation and just walks away. Meanwhile, you got Cyrus and Jason talking, and every 5 seconds, you know, Cyrus is taunting Jason. This is pretty much what he does. That's his MO. You know, he says something like, oh, I heard about Mike's passing. Must be really sad. How's Sonny doing his business? It's like, what are you doing? You couldn't be more obvious if you tried. You know, Jason, you know, just keeping it cool and casual, just like, I don't know. I have no idea. And then Sam comes over. At this point, trying to push Jason's buttons is, well, just not going to happen. So he starts with Sam. And he brings up her mother. And brings up Neil. And Sam is all like, oh, well, do you know where those drugs came from? Really, Sam? Really? You're just going to just flat out just ask him, like... So they get into a bit of a, I don't know, back and forth. I'm not going to say argument, but... then he brings up Alexis again. And that's when Sam was about to claw his eyes out. And then he walked away. And Jason was like, listen, he's taunting you. He's taunting both of us. This is what he does. And then he goes in the alley or goes somewhere and he makes a call to Sonny, telling him about what's going on. Well, you pretty much got Nicholas and Ava playing the dance of seduction. And they do that for a little bit. And then, well, also, I gotta sit there and mention that Cyrus says something to Julian. He was like, listen, if you need more help with the cops, or anyone else, you let me know. And the reason why I bring that up is because I feel like at some point, he's going to need help from Sonny. Because Julian made a beeline straight to Windermere. And talks to Ava. He's like, listen, I tried to get the letter. Didn't work. I need your help. Before anything happens, that's when Nicholas comes in. And then they start arguing for a little bit. Because Nicholas didn't like the fact that the minute that Julian came in the living room, Ava pretty much just shut the door right in Nicholas' face. And I'm surprised he didn't burst in there a lot sooner. But anyway, when he does, he gets a call from, not him, Ava gets a call from Ryan Chamberlain. So I guess we'll just wait and see what that's about. And, Nina was in there. She was talking about the search. She was kind of tearing up a little bit because she was wondering what, you know, her daughter or son or child's prom was like and stuff. And then was telling Carly that they're still in the search for her child. And that was it. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. With that being said, really nothing happened. Nothing really actually happened. So yeah, if you missed it yesterday, I gotta be honest with you, you really didn't miss anything. I practically just said the most important stuff that really happened. Because other than that, it was just mostly chit chat. So yeah. Anyway, again, I want to thank you, name that I can't pronounce, for reminding me, for letting me know about GH. Because I would have woke up and be like, actually, that's exactly what happened. I woke up and I was like, WTF, and yeah. So I have no idea when it's coming back on. I don't know if it's gonna come back on Monday, because even when I went on SoapNet or whatever, or not SoapNet, Soap Opera Digest, it was like, well, it could be come back on Monday, or it could be come back on Tuesday, and I'm like, the hell kind of network is that when you don't know? This is the thing that I don't like, and this is just before I go. This thing that I don't like. I don't like the fact that a lot of these channels, a lot of these, regular channels, when it comes towards the sporting events, the shows just get kicked to the wayside. Just one of my favorite crime dramas, and you can probably stop at this point, but one of my favorite crime dramas, CSI Miami, used to come on Sundays. And football used to come on Sundays. So they would delay it, they would push it back. Following week, both that and CSI Cyber. And then when it got canceled, it was like, it got canceled due to low ratings. But the low ratings was a result of them constantly pushing it back towards these sports shows. Now I guess, when it really comes down to it, it's about money. Because, even now, right now, it's like, they didn't really need to, take away those episodes. They really didn't. But it's about money. And this, I guess the sports events make more towards ABC than the soap operas does. So it's just unfortunate. And I really hate when the networks do that. And it's not just 7. It's 2, it's even 11 sometimes. And it sucks. But anyway, that's really all I got, because, again, nothing really happened. And, yeah, hope everyone has a good weekend. And, I remember I used to say a catchphrase, now I don't remember what it is. Maybe I'll think about it when I get ready to do my review on Days.